They found microplastics in the clouds, the actual clouds. I went to my niece's birthday party the other day and her paper straw disintegrated in her cup before she could even take a sip. The ocean is 90% undelivered Temu packages and everything is going wrong. The earth is heaving backwards and everything is burning. But then I remembered, I am a visionary. I am a beacon of sustainability. I'm just a guy who really loves the ozone layer. And because of this, I've decided to solve the global waste crisis myself the only way I know how, with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and a whole bunch of magic cards. You're welcome. We need to go back to basics. We need to reduce, reuse, and recycle. And we need to take that discarded trash that we keep throwing away and upcycle it into something more useful. And by upcycle, I mean literally going down into the sewers, or graveyard in this case, and pilling out all the things that we just threw in there, thanks to our commander, Leonardo Sewer Samurai. Let's have a look. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking mono white, the colour known for resplendent angels, glorious anthems, and making you pay for smothering tithe, and dragging it straight down into the sewers. That's right, I've built you a blisteringly powerful mono white combo deck for you to take a look at. So why don't we look at the Ninja Turtle who's in charge of this deck. Leonardo Sewer Samurai is a 3/3 legendary Mutant Ninja Turtle Samurai for 3 and a white. He has double strike, sneak, and an absolutely terrifying paragraph of text that reads, during your turn, you may cast creature spells with power or toughness 1 or less from your graveyard. If you cast a spell this way, that creature enters with a finality counter on it. For those who don't know, a creature that dies with a finality counter on it is exiled instead. It's Wizard's way of making sure you can't loop these creatures over and over and over again. But if there's one thing that we despise on this channel, it's playing Magic fairly, so I've found a way round it. You see, Leonardo cares about creatures with power or toughness 1 or less in the graveyard. And do you know what has a power of 0 in the graveyard? X spells, especially if you cast them for 0. We are running a massive package of mechanical junk. Walking Ballista, Endless One, Stonecoil Serpent, Hangerback Walker, Shifting Wall, and Ugin's Conjurant. Because X is 0, they cost 0 mana to cast. Leonardo sees that they have 0 power, so he lets us cast them from the graveyard. They enter the battlefield as 0/0s, and then state-based actions immediately realise that they have 0 toughness, so they instantly die and go back to the graveyard. We also have a few actual 0 cost creatures, like Memnite, Ornithopter, Phyrexian Walker, and Shield Sphere that we can throw into our sacrifice outlets like Ashnod's Altar and Phyrexian Altar for free mana. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So we figured out that we can cast some creatures for free. That's great, and we can cast them, they'll die, and then we can cast them again from our graveyard. But they come back with a finality counter, so we can only do it once, right? Well, what if that finality counter just didn't exist? Enter the glitch in the Matrix, Solemnity. This 3 mana enchantment states that counters cannot be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. If we have Solemnity on the battlefield, Leonardo's ability tries to put a finality counter on our 0/0 creature, but Solemnity says no. The creature enters the battlefield with 0 counters, immediately dies because it's a 0/0, hits the graveyard, and because it didn't have a finality counter on it, it stays in the graveyard, meaning that we can cast it again, and again, and again for 0 mana, yielding infinite enter the battlefield triggers and infinite death triggers. And Solemnity isn't the only way to cheat the system. In mono white, there's a whole host of cards that let us navigate around this pesky finality counter. Sun Cleanser can help prevent a target creature from gaining counters. Power Conduit, Ferropede, and Hexavus can actively strip counters away if we need to manually clean garbage. But I do want to take some time to talk about my favourite counters creature, Luminous Broodmoth. Whenever a creature we control without flying dies, the Broodmoth returns it to the battlefield with a flying counter on it. But wait, if we have Solemnity out, it doesn't get the flying counter, which means that when it dies again, the Broodmoth will just keep bringing it back. It is a secondary commander built right into our 99. So we've established this incredible loop of creatures entering, immediately dying, us recasting them, and then immediately dying again. Sure, we can do this as many times as we want, but how does this actually move the game plan forward? What do we do with this ability? Let's start with the classic, Altar of the Brood. Whenever a permanent enters the battlefield under our control, each opponent mills a card. Cast Walking Ballista for 0 a million times, mill your opponent's entire libraries, and the game is over. Prefer to drain them out? Bontu's Monument will drain the table for 1 life every time we cast our free creature. What if we want to gain infinite life and blast people into the sun? Well, Soul Warden gains us a life every time a creature enters, and once we hit 50 life or so, we can tap our Aether Flux reservoir and start dealing 50 damage to our opponent's faces. Or maybe we just want to build an army. Oketra's Monument and God Eternal Oketra will spit out a warrior and zombie token every time we cast a creature. Thalia's Geist Cooler generates a spirit token whenever we cast a spell from our graveyard. Now for a deck like this, I had to find quite a lot of artifacts that work well in this mono-white Reanimator shell. So where did I turn? Well, Card Mystic, of course, the smart Magic the Gathering search engine. With Card Mystic, all I had to do was search up something like Walking Ballista, and then hit the Similar Cards button to be given a whole load of cards just like it. Then once I found ones that I liked, I could put them into the deck list, and I was ready to go. Thanks again to Card Mystic for sponsoring this video. Now let's wrap up this build. But combo decks are fragile, and if you don't draw into Solemnity, you're just a guy who cast a 0 cost, watched it die, cast it again, and then watch it get exiled. So we need a little bit more to make sure this all runs smoothly. Enlightened Tutor and Idyllic Tutor will go fetch Solemnity, Altar of the Brood, or whatever combo piece that we're missing. Ranger Captain of Eos and Recruiter of the Guard are perfect for grabbing our Walking Ballista or our Sun Cleanser. Ranger Captain even acts as a protection piece, letting us sacrifice it to stop our opponents from casting non-creature spells on the turn that we decide to go off. And to keep the engine fueled, we have top tier card draw. Esper Sentinel, Enduring Innocence, Welcoming Vampire, and Rumour Gatherer ensure that our hand is always full of action. Of course, our opponents are going to try and stop us. They're going to try and exile our graveyard, they're going to try and destroy our creatures, so we have a protection package in place. We run the golden standard of white removal and protection. Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile will clear out any stacks pieces, stopping our loop. Generous Gift and Stroke of Midnight can destroy absolutely any problematic permanent. We also run Reprieve, Mono White's answer to Remand, which can catch opponents completely off guard when they try to counter Leonardo. And if someone tries to wipe our board, Savine's Reclamation and Dusk to Dawn pull our combo pieces right back out of the trash where they belong. So there you have it, a mono-white waste management facility that loops creatures over and over again until the table just can't stand it anymore. What do you think of this deck? Do you like it? Are you going to give it a go? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, do hit like and hit subscribe because there's plenty more to come. And I will see you next time. Bye.